Thank you, Madam Chair. In 2013, California amended TB 117, the state's Technical Bulletin on Fire Safety Standards for Furniture Flammability, to significantly reduce the presence of potentially dangerous flame retardant chemicals in furniture. As you are aware, commonly used flame retardants in furniture have been found to be associated with adverse health effects, including fertility complications, certain types of cancer, heart defects, and hormone disruption. Commissioner Adler, is CPSC currently examining a national flammability standard that would reduce the need for potentially hazardous flame retardants?
Thank you for that question, and I'd like to answer it in two ways. First of all, the Commission has directly addressed the issue of chemical hazards because one of the things that we are investigating is the possibility of addressing organohalogens, which are the flame retardants that are found in many, many children's products. And that's something that we're working vigorously on, in particular to address them as a class of hazard, not one by one.
Right.
With respect to the California standard, which is TB 117, this is a fascinating exercise to me because the chairman supports adoption of TB 117, the industry supports it, a lot of public health groups do, but there's one group that doesn't, and that's CPSC staff. And they've raised a number of very, very strong technical objections to the adoption of TB 117. But I'd like to go back to a point that I had raised earlier. We can't just adopt a California safety standard as in a very simple process the way we can use under our 104 rulemaking. We would have to go through these elaborate procedures that are very cumbersome in order to adopt something like TB 117. So I know the Commission is working, the Commission staff are working.
Well, I do hope that we do proceed as quickly as possible on this. I know there might be some disputes, but let's try to move forward with this. I think this is such an important issue. We really do. I mean, this has been out there for quite a while, and we really need to deal with this. We should study this further and adopt uniform standards that will reduce the need for dangerous chemicals in furniture. And it's time we acted upon this. In 2015, this is another issue, the Office of Management Budget issued a memoranda requiring all publicly accessible federal websites to provide service only through HTTPS connection by the end of 2016. HTTPS protocol ensures that a consumer's connection is encrypted from their devices all the way to the federal government systems. Regular HTTP connections sent in plain text can be intercepted and exploited by anybody or anything between a user and the website, including someone using public Wi-Fi. The website created by the federal government to monitor HTTPS deployment stated that 78% of federal government domains are compliant, with CPSC at 88%. Ms. Burkle, our entire panel, are you aware of this work? If any, what remains to be done?
Thank you for your question, Congresswoman. I would appreciate the opportunity to get back to you and get the current status at the agency, and then we will report back to you as to what is happening and where we are with compliance.
Okay, I'm anxious to receive that. The Internet of Things has the potential to transform the services around us. For instance, connected devices can remotely monitor a diabetic's glucose levels or a patient in the ICU's vital signs, which in turn can help provide data to better treat patients and address issues potentially before they become symptomatic. And many consumers already have connected devices to their homes and on the go, from tracking personal fitness information to intelligent speakers and connected transportation services. But I'm concerned if we do not do more, we risk becoming overly reliant on technologies developed by foreign actors or standards that provide an unfair advantage to technologies developed in foreign markets. That's why I'm working on legislation to ensure we support a multi-stakeholder approach to this issue that promotes U.S. leadership in this process. The entire panel, as CPSC continues to grapple with IoT devices, do you see over-reliance on foreign technologies as a potential issue facing consumer product safety?
I'll answer that. Yes, I think you're raising a valid concern. You mentioned that you're working to develop legislation in this area. I'd want to commend your leadership in that respect and welcome an opportunity to review a draft of your legislation if and when that's available. I think IoT makes all sorts of connectivity possible, and there have been some exciting developments in this area, as you cited in your question. CPSC has a role to play with respect to connected devices that present an unreasonable risk of injury to consumers. I am aware that CPSC that our staff is in communication with standard-setting organizations like Underwriters Laboratory and other to develop our own standards with respect to connectivity and safety of IoT devices. I'm eager to watch how this standards activity progresses, but I see my time's expired.
Yeah, it has, and thank you. My time has expired too. I yield back.